Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And we're just a giddy couple in love that is giddy about some God of War.
Oh, yeah.
And so this is our monthly Monday showcase for September. We're checking out God of War, the story of Kratos. I think Kratos, so it's from a channel, Kratos World. They put together kind of like all the games in a timeline. So it's easy to check out for all the cutscenes. And we want to play God of War on the channel. God of War 4, as I call it, just because, calling it, I don't know, God of War 2018 or whatever. It's official. So I played all the God of War, the numbered games, before, and we checked out God of War 3, all the deaths and everything. So it's just basically telling the story of God of War 3. But Bethany hasn't checked out any of it, so I'm gonna get some history as well in this because I haven't checked out, Ascension or Ghost of Sparta. There's another one in there. So excited to check this out.
Yeah, me too.
And if you want all of our God of War reactions, we got a playlist down below in the description of this video for the other stuff that we checked out. But yeah. Let's get to it.
Let's do it.
So every Monday in September, we God of War. Let's do it.
When men ask for the origin of Kratos, the true tale was never known. The truth is that Kratos, like all men, began life as a child. Born out of wedlock, Kratos was the bastard child of a shunned woman. There were rumors as to who the father was. Rumors that grew more and more preposterous. Until the woman finally left her small village. She swore a new life in Sparta.
Even though Kratos
will never know the truth. Never know who his father really was. But childhood in ancient Sparta was a brutal existence. Children deemed fit and strong were trained to be warriors, the protectors of Sparta. The weaker children were caged, sent to the mountains to fend for themselves. They were not expected to survive.
Damn.
And while Kratos escaped the fate of the weaker children, his brother was not so lucky. The two brothers trained and dreamt of one day joining the ranks of the great Spartan army. But that never was to be.
Don't let your guard down, Deimos! A Spartan warrior never lets his back hit the ground. Even in death, a Spartan stands tall for battle. You are a Spartan, are you not?
Yes, Kratos.
After the Great War with the Titans, the Oracle had foretold the demise of the Olympian gods and the destruction of Olympus. She saw that it would be brought about not by the hands of the Titans, who thirsted for revenge, but by the hands of a mortal, a marked warrior. Whoever controlled the marked warrior controlled the fate of Olympus.
Kratos having no fear from the get-go. Assassin's here to bring the marked one. This boy is of no consequence.
Kratos! Help! Kratos!
Forgive me.
Help!
Deimos.
They came to retrieve the marked warrior. A mark they saw on the body of Deimos. As he was taken away in front of his brother's eyes, Little did he know of the fate that awaited him.
Not a good one.
Ares would bring him to the domain of death, the realm of Thanatos, a place no mortal had ever dared set foot. There he would remain imprisoned with no hope of escape. He would suffer years of punishment and torment at the hands of the god of death. At first, the belief that his brother Kratos would come to save him kept him alive. But as the years lapsed, Deimos lost all semblance of hope, and with it any thread of humanity left in him. The anger, the vengeance seethed within him and lay dormant for decades. With little sanity left, it was this rage that made him endure, believing the day would come when he would once again face the brother who abandoned him.
Oh, come on.
This single event would forever change the course of Kratos' life. His destiny, his cursed fate, had been set in motion. The loss of his brother would leave an indelible mark on him, a memory he could not forget. As he vowed never to falter again, Kratos adorned a red tattoo on his body in honor of Deimos. A tattoo in the very image of his brother's birthmark. Kratos had begun his command with only 50 soldiers, but soon his numbers grew to the thousands. His tactics were brutal, effective. Drunk with power, he was feared by all,
Can I
except
transition?
one.
Yeah.
His wife was the only one to brave his fury.
How much is enough, Kratos? When will it end?
When the glory of Sparta is known throughout the world.
The glory of Sparta. You did this for yourself.
His desire for conquest knew no bounds, until this day. The barbarians to the east numbered in the thousands, and descended on the Spartans without mercy.
Oh!
The battle lasted mere hours. The discipline and training of the Spartans did little to stem the tide of the merciless barbarians.
They're all just a bunch of
The
Kratos.
soldiers faced a massacre, while their young captain faced the end of his brilliant career and his life. But to Kratos, victory was worth any price, even his soul.
Ares! Destroy my enemies, and my life is yours.
Never make a bargain with the gods.
That desperate call for aid would come to haunt Kratos for all his days.
I'm sure.
The sky split apart, and the god of war stepped through. Descending from Olympus, he saw the makings of a god in a mere mortal. Ares would save Kratos. He would turn him into the perfect warrior, his servant on Earth. Only a simple pledge of loyalty was required.
My life is yours, Ares.
Yeah.
From this day, I shall carry forth your will.
And his fate was sealed. As promised, Ares rescued his new disciple, bringing forth the power of a god,
Oh!
destroying those who would slaughter Kratos and his men.
In horrible fashion, too.
As for Kratos, no mere sword and shield would befit the newest servant of the god of war.
Herpes.
The blades of chaos, forged in the foulest depths of Hades. Once attached, the chains remained so, chained and seared to the flesh, a part of the bearer's body, a permanent reminder of Kratos' pledge. In return, ultimate power. The rage of Ares exploded from within.
That was a cool shot.
But soon, he would learn the true cost of such power. A cost too high even for Kratos to pay. Memories of what he'd done in the name of Ares. Memories of how he'd become a servant to the god of war. A beast. His humanity robbed and replaced only with the will to murder. No one was safe. Entire armies fell before Kratos and the soldiers who followed him on his unending path of conquest, all in the name of his master. Those who offered resistance of any kind were dealt with quickly.
They've built this temple to offer prayers to Athena! This entire village stands as an affront to Lord Ares! Burn this village! Burn it to the ground!
Emboldened by the god of war, Kratos' army was ruthless, feared throughout the world for their brutality. All that mattered was conquest in the name of Kratos, their great leader, who had become near invincible. He feared nothing. But there was something about this temple, something forbidden. All his instincts told him he should never cross its threshold. Never step inside.
Beware, Kratos. The dangers in the temple are greater than you know.
But the village oracle's warning fell on deaf ears. His ambition would not be denied.
And his pride.
All who opposed him would die.
Bless you.
Ego.
Athena's gonna kick your ass.
In that instant, the glory he had reveled in turned to horror. The image of his two final victims would stay with him for all his days. With that act, Kratos knew he could no longer serve his master. For how could he forget spilling the blood of his own family? A cruel trick orchestrated by the god of war.
My wife, my child, how? They were left in Sparta.
You are becoming all I'd hoped you'd be, Kratos. Now, with your wife and child dead, nothing will hold you back. You'll become even stronger. You will become death itself.
But as the flames consumed the temple, Kratos realized his true enemy was the god who once saved his life. The same god who had now taken everything from him.
Ares!
From this night forward, the mark of your terrible deed will be visible to all. The ashes of your wife and child will remain fastened to your skin, never to be removed.
And with that curse, all would know him for the beast he had become. His skin white with the ash of his dead family. The ghost of Sparta had been born.
Ares, you will die for what you did that night.
He set out to break his bond with Ares, the god of war.
mind is troubled. But your skills are still without equal.
Do you have business with me?
I do. This is not the manner to discuss it.
I see no other way.
You have no reason to trust me, Spartan. I only ask that you try. Your thoughts are not your own, but I can help you.
And you are?
I believe these belong to you. Use these items to still your mind, Kratos. Do not let illusion deceive you. Have the visions ceased?
I see only you.
Good. You will need this skill for the path ahead.
And what path is that?
The path of freedom, Kratos.
Freedom.
Yes, freedom. Freedom from the furies who relentlessly hunt you in the name of Ares, and ultimately, freedom from your bond to the god of war himself.
Break an oath with a god. Of all the minds in question, mine is not the one to worry about.
You waver from sound mind to illusion in the beat of a heart. Is that any life for a great warrior? The Furies are near. They cannot know I speak with you.
I need to brush up on my mythology because I don't know who that was.
Yeah.
Only a coward hides himself, Orcos.
Orthos?
You know I'm one of the Furies who forged your bond. You would have killed me before I could even speak.
Then tell me, what has brought you to this betrayal of your own kind?
It was you. The injustice of your oath that made me doubt. Is it possible that through all your suffering you still do not understand why you were chosen? Why Ares needed you? Why he still needs you?
Speak clearly.
Oh, Kratos. The god of war has been plotting for years. I was brought forth by the joining of the War God and the Fury Queen. In rage and insanity, Ares hoped to conceive the perfect warrior. But I was only a disappointment to him. It was
Yeah, we
my
all feel you
brothers
there.
who spared me. They gave me the task of keeping the oaths. Although my burden was great, I was determined to be of service to those who said they loved me. But it was you, Kratos. It was the final task of your bond that made me question the actions of my family.
Yeah.
I sought counsel with Alethea. It was she who revealed to me the plot of Ares to overthrow Zeus. But he needed the perfect warrior. Ares molded you to take down the very walls of Olympus.
Ares, destroy my enemies, and my life is yours!
To make you beholden only to him, Ares and my mothers devised 3 blood tasks. Spill the blood of your enemies. The blood of the innocent.
Blood family?
The blood of your very
The past is the past, Orcos.
past you now seek to rectify.
And I will do so without the aid of a fury.
Not much further now, Sparta. Inside there are the eyes of truth. The very same eyes my mother's ruthlessly pulled from Alethea. When I learned of the plot between my parents to overthrow Olympus, I could not believe Alethea's words. Then she showed me the truth. That the god of war would bring down the very walls of Olympus. I knew I must stop them. Alethea and I sought to warn Zeus. But when Ares learned of our attempt, he sent my mothers after us.
Said mothers plural?
Well, his conception came from the Queen of the Furies, so maybe...
From my beloved. She became a prisoner in her own temple. Ares and my mothers knew that if the eyes of truth were hidden, then their wicked plot would not be revealed. Then soon they would reign over the gods themselves.
Always about ambition.
Keep their plan in motion. They need you back, Sparta. They will stop at nothing until you return to Lord Ares.
Ares will have to find another to do his bidding.
I know you will set things right. I'm sorry, Sparta. When I learned that my mothers were close, I came to warn you.
We have special plans with you, son.
All this effort and you still fail.
Oh. Neat trick.
And back with the tar.
Come, sisters. We will break him within the walls of Hecatombe.
Did you ever see Ferngully? Oh, that makes me think of the
Kratos
tar
found
monster from
himself
Ferngully.
defeated, and this time no Olympian would come to his aid. Satisfied, the sisters returned home with their prize. Within the walls of their prison, they would delve into the broken warrior's soul and entice Kratos back to his place as a servant of Ares.
Artwork is so awesome in this.
Yeah, it really is.
Shot.
It has been too long.
Never again.
Yeah.
Oh, that's miserable.
Just think, his brother was like that for much longer.
Fair point.
Hello, Kratos.
Yeah, no thanks.
Is Devora in this?
Why down?
What's wrong? You seem confused, Kratos. Having trouble remembering our special time together?
What? Okay.
Then again, we were rudely interrupted by my sister. A leftover's never won from manners.
We should take that chain off him.
Not to worry. I am quite skilled at teaching respect. For what you've taken, I owe you that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, crafty.
Is that the best you can offer? Your rage means nothing.
Huh. His rage is everything.
That's all he ever was. Bit of a rough landing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what the hell is that? Is that a nose and a face? Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
Far too long.
You can see her in the morning. Come.
Don't trust it. Brief moment of happiness.
Yeah, but with what he's lived through, who wouldn't want to be stuck there in that
Yeah.
memory?
In time, you will forget. All that you have lost can be yours once again.
If this is what keeps you in service to Lord Ares, then this is what you shall have.
It is not real.
I can be your reality.
The hard part is over, Spartan. You have committed the ultimate sacrifice. Offer yourself to us completely, and you shall live in blissful illusion.
Never.
Then let death be your reality.
She's got a Cate Blanchett hella voice thing going on.
Yeah, yeah.
What is the meaning of this? You have made a poor choice, Spartan.
He's made a few of those, to be fair.
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh.
Yeah. This guy's Phantom of the Opera mask, but like the full version.
You shame, Sparta. Oathbreaker.
Now you're gonna get it.
You are not fit to be called a Spartan.
Who's that? His
I
captain?
lost everything because of you.
I think that's
That
probably
was
a
fair.
good call. Yeah. You think Kratos wants to kick his own ass? All right, there you go.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's not real, Kratos. It's not real.
Still, doesn't make it easy to see that face.
Nope.
It's alright. You see your face probably all the time.
And in all fairness,
We're not there by chance.
you killed them once, so.
Yeah, but he was in a blind range. You didn't really know. Oof. Of course they weren't there by chance.
You think you want truth, but truth will only bring you pain!
Truth is pain sometimes.
And he's already got the pain. You might as well have the truth.
Yep. Okay,
Oh,
in the boobs.
titty stab!
Just making my boobs hurt just looking at it.
My death will not free you from this madness!
Yeah, it'll make you feel a hell lot better.
That is a huge and fancy temple.
Yeah. I mean, it was.
True. Very true.
All right, so part one of our God of War journey, full story of Kratos by Kratos World. What'd you think?
So my first feeling whenever I see any of this God of War material is I need to brush up on my mythology.
Yeah.
Because Orthos or Orgos?
I think so. Orthos or Orcos. I didn't really quite get it. I think it was Orthos.
I was like, I have no idea who this person was. And even my knowledge of the Furies, I was
Yeah.
like, well, I know of the Furies, but it's like, I don't know the Furies the way I know the Greek gods. I was like, my knowledge is super limited. An overwhelming feeling that I need to go back to the books and learn again. Especially because mythology is so rich with storytelling. It's
Yeah.
so fun to learn about. But then also the story of Kratos, I knew it was a tragic story. I knew, because I had asked you at one point, I was like, why is he so white? I was like, I'm white, but this dude is white. I was like, that doesn't seem to fit. And kind of explained to me, well, it's the ashes of his wife and child, which is, I mean, Jesus, that's depressing.
Yeah.
I knew it was sad, but seeing the whole story unfold, learning about his brother, learning about how, I believe it was Ares who first takes his brother and Athena.
Yeah.
And just sort of the history that he has with those two specific gods from this so enriches the story. I know that there is more to his relationship with Athena that's to come that we haven't yet learned about. And I'm super interested in that because Athena was always my favorite goddess. And Ares is just, Ares,
such a dick.
such a bastard. In every story ever told about Ares, he is such a bastard. And this kind of like takes the cake on that.
Yeah, and so this covers a lot of the games that I hadn't played before, so this is a nice intro into it, and it's great getting your like perspective of having not played any of the other God of War games, starting with this story like right at the beginning, because like in the first God of War, these are all like kind of prequels to the first God of War. In the first God of War, you like Athena plays a very big part in it. So it'll be really fun when we get to that part, which might be in the next part. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, same what you said. The Furies, I don't know enough about them, and I would like to know a little bit more about that. And we said it while we were watching it, but the artwork in this is really beautiful. Yes. The way they showcase it is very beautiful, like in a very violent, game. There's a lot of like beauty within it.
I loved how the artwork and the stylization seemed like, almost seemed like a medieval painting of ancient stories. Sometimes there are like medieval paintings of like biblical passages or famous ancient things like the Odyssey and whatnot. And this felt very much like that. But then it had those sort of modern transitions that made use of the blood and the gore to allow for a segue between scenes, the way that like blood white or like washes over the camera. I love the the art and beauty that they found within the horror and the violence. Because it's an interesting duality, and it's interesting to try and find that balance. I couldn't help but think during this, because we watched Death Battles, I was like, I wonder, how would the matchup between Wonder Woman and Kratos go? Because they are both god killers.
Okay.
They both have a beef with Ares and have taken down Ares. So I couldn't help but sit here and think about that. I was like, I wonder how that would go.
Yeah, we saw God of War versus Spawn, which was one of the first ones that they had done. I'm not sure what season one, maybe season 1 or season 2 for Death Battle. What I love about Kratos so much is that he's such a flawed character for a hero, which is good, but it's got like a good revenge aspect to it as well. Also, like as you're playing the game, like it's weird because like you're David taking on Goliath, like all the, because you're taking on the gods, but David is still like a fucking badass and like super powerful himself. So it's like super, like that's why it's super fun to play as, and like also someone to cheer for just because of all that power. It's not like, getting a lucky shot in with just like a slingshot or something like that. No, it's just overpowering. It's just overpowering gods, but like, from another's perspective, like from someone who shouldn't be able to take down an entire pantheon. And we'll learn more about Kratos as we go on, and like how he like gains more power, but yeah. So I'm glad we're starting this journey. I can't wait to play God of War 4. I will always call it God of War 4. And on the channel later on. And so that's kind of what we're doing a lot with these journeys. We're like, games that we want to play. We're learning a little bit more about it. We did that in Uncharted and Devil May Cry, obviously, and playing Devil May Cry 5 on the channel. So yeah, I think God of War 4 will be after Devil May Cry 5 for one of our Sundays. And then God of War Ragnarok comes out in November. So hopefully we get to God of War 4. Like we might be playing God of War 4 while God of War Ragnarok is already out. But yeah, well, I don't know the timing of it all. It all depends.
I'm just gonna be very curious to continue the Kratos journey, because I feel like from what limited knowledge I have about Kratos, which has definitely been enhanced by today's viewing, but from what little knowledge I had going into it, he, as you said, he's a hero to cheer for, and he's a flawed character. I feel like he continues being flawed and flirting with that hero line. Like, are you on the right side?
Yeah, exactly.
Like he flirts with that, I feel like, throughout. So it'll be very interesting to watch his story unfold.
Let us know what you thought about this down below in the comments. And we're going to have more God of War next week because it's our monthly Monday showcase for God of War, all right? Story of Kratos. We have a playlist down below in the description of this video also for all of our God of War reactions. Thanks so much for checking out part 1 of our Story of Kratos, but you keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.